Today is Tuesday, April the 28th, and what we're going to see today on the charts is a lot of Chiku span activity, like we've been seeing a lot of cloud-related resistance and support on a lot of stocks for the last week or so. So let's take a look at FinViz. Advancers and decliners, 2 to 1. Volume, a little bit lower, it would appear. The Dow dropped and then just flatlined. The NASDAQ dropped and then flatlined, and so did the S&P 500. But it was Google, Microsoft, Facebook, the ones that were reporting earnings after hours. Google today, Facebook and Microsoft tomorrow, Amazon and Apple on Thursday. Visa, I believe, is coming up too. But look at healthcare. Look at healthcare. Now, we're in a coronavirus situation. The market is very excited, but healthcare is down. Does seem a little strange. The stock market breadth gave us what we were looking for and helped resolve the conundrum. Were we going to make a higher high, or was today going to prove to be just yesterday another lower high? So we had these two highs here, and then we had this high, which was lower, this high, which was lower, this high, and now we've broken it. So the bulls would appear to be in charge, although the S&P did finish off today. So mixed messages. Volume looked like this, pretty much on as yesterday. A little bit more volume, a little bit more in the buying, a little bit more in the selling. So the stacked volume looked like this, just a little bit more volume. And this was the second biggest day that we've had in the last 7. So the volume is picking up a little bit. Let's take a look now at the S&P and what we were saying about those Chiku spans. Well, first of all, the S&P finished the day down, a little bit of a pulling possibly towards the flat cloud and one of our green lines here. So let's keep a look. The cloud is coinciding with a 50% pullback of X to A. You know what we say about coincidences, and we should keep an eye on this. When a Fibonacci coexists or coincides with a piece of the cloud, that is something to look to. The VIX only up a little bit today. Apple down 1%. Now we talk about the Chiku span here. Let's just take today's high, which was right here. If you take that right there, the top of that candle, that's today's high. So let me just put in a green line here, and look what that would mean. That would mean that today, the high of the Chiku span was the 50 EMA. So as soon as we hit the 50 EMA on the Chiku span, we popped down. You got to watch the Chiku span. I've been saying that. The cloud surfaces are real. The thickness of the cloud in terms of resistance and support is real. And the Chiku span interacting with trailing moving averages and trailing objects is real as well. And we're going to see other ones. Home Depot, exactly the same thing. Look at this. The high today came in right here. Let's put that line in there. And where is that? The 50 simple moving average. And where did we end up the day? The 200 EMA. Yesterday we hit it where the cross was. Here we're just a day after it, and we stayed at the 200. So now we've got two charts where the Chiku span was telling us something about price direction. Caterpillar had earnings today and popped up and then pulled back. It dropped exactly at the cloud. So it opened at the cloud. Pre-market trading was for Caterpillar was up about $1.25, $1.50, and then as soon as it hit that cloud, the market opened, down it went. So 2 Chiku spans and a cloud. Google. This is a regular trading hour Google here. And if you look at Google's high today was when it opened. So let's draw a line right there. And where was that? Just below the 200. The Chiku span would have been right here, just below the 200, but it was the cloud that proved to be the resistance. When we opened up at the cloud, we dropped. Now let's see what Google is doing after hours. And after hours, we've got a nice big jump. So Google reported pretty good earnings. Let's go back into regular trading. And let's move on to NVIDIA. By the way, if you read, I know those who watch the video may not read the comments or may not leave any comments, but Andy has been posting comments, and he's the one who identified Shop, NVIDIA, Smile Direct, BP, and now is suggesting that we look at some oil companies and a few others, which I didn't have a chance to look at today. But take a look at his comments in our comment section. He's really picking out some good stocks, and one of them he gave us some time ago was NVIDIA. It opened up about pre-market $7 up, and it had a full range today of $13, but it finished down. A lot of the NASDAQ stocks, well, a lot of the stocks, but the tech leaders were primarily down. This isn't bad news necessarily for NVIDIA. As a gaming chip company who just made an important acquisition yesterday, the acquisition may slightly have hurt them in today's trading. People may have sold NVIDIA and bought that other company that they acquired. Don't even know if they're publicly traded. But let's keep an eye on NVIDIA. I still have 6 contracts there. Smile Direct, that Andy pointed out to us, had a big day today. So Andy, if you got into Smile Direct when we broke that trend line that we were talking about, where was it? Don't know why it disappeared. Maybe it was this one, something like this. Maybe it was something like this. Trend line? No, that wasn't it. Anyways, we had a trend line. Anyways, it's above the 50. Andy, if you bought into Smile Direct, damn good eyes. Whirlpool up $5, stopped at the 50% and the top of the cloud. Shopify, crazy stock. We've missed it. CrowdStrike. I don't know if this was, I don't think this was Andy. I think this is someone else. So I'm sorry for forgetting your name. Anyways, CrowdStrike had a big wide-ranging day today, and we want to keep an eye on that one. That could be just part of the tech pullback. Cisco, which I thought about buying today because it looked like it was going to open up. I waited, didn't want to buy in the first 15 minutes or the first half hour. I waited, and at the end of the day, it had pulled back 16 cents. And where did it stop? Another Chiku span event, the Chiku span on the 50 EMA. Gold miners only up 2 cents. Amazon, let's take a look at its cloud. Nothing much to see there in terms of the cloud and the Chiku span. Disney up 64 cents. Facebook, that has earnings, I believe, tomorrow, bounced off of the 8 EMA, and its high today would have been right here. And if we draw that, it looks like you just take this point and move it up. The Chiku span was also the tell today. Chiku span on the 50 EMA. So many stocks were doing that. Netflix down today. Maybe just exhaustion. What else do we want to look at? Let's just keep going now, and let's take a look at some of the other new ones here. Silver, cloud, gold, not able to pull back, not able to break this trend line. GDX, same thing, same type of trend line, as you would expect to see, sort of the same momentum as gold. The Burger King, I think, was this one of yours, Andy? Burger King, a little bit of a pop-up. Hertz, little bit. I just don't see car rentals as being something to invest in, but look at the volume. Andy, you might have an inside track here. Very interesting. Look at the volume for Hertz. So let's keep an eye on that one tomorrow as well. Good eye all around, Andy. You also mentioned BP and Exxon. There we go. Exxon stopped at the 50. Let's look at it with its cloud. Just into the cloud. So it's going to start a lot of resistance here. We can expect to see some chop. So that's it for today. The S&P was down. Going back to our other charts, we now have a bullish McClellan signal. We could very well pop up and see another high in the McClellan before being in the, we're already in the overbought area, but we could see another move up tomorrow. It's really going to depend on the state's opening and what happens to the coronavirus cases and how people treat this opening. Just because hair salons are open, massage parlors, nail salons, grocery stores, restaurants and movie theaters with limited capacity, let's see if people actually leave the house and start spending money again. I don't know about you, but my credit card bills were the lowest this month that I've seen in a long time.